It has been a few months, a few weeks since we last played this, but we're back. We are back in the heart. We're going to finish up the quick start scenario, Drowned, for Heart, the City Beneath. Where y'all left off was you started out in a haven called Deves. You were all hired to sort of keep watch while a festival was happening. People were worried about undead rising in the area and all sorts of troubles happening recently. There's always troubles in the heart, but there seemed to be an uptick in the area recently, so just to be safe during a festival, you got hired. Unfortunately, those suspicions were confirmed. Things did start happening, and the dead did start rising in the town. You saw these people that were covered in like coral and like barnacles and all sorts of weird watery things like that, and they were just dripping water off of them, beginning to flood the area. Just water pouring out of their mouths, their ears, everything, as they just kind of soaked water into the environment around them. More and more of these people kept popping up, and even though you tried to fight them off, they just kept on rising out of the water as the water itself kept rising. It was this seawater, this salty water you could smell. And with the situation seemingly hopeless, you all decided, along with some of the other NPCs there, to evacuate. And there were some casualties, but you managed to get a good portion of the residents of Deves out of there. You led them on a trek, on a delve to the Temple of the Moon Beneath, a nearby haven, in order to seek shelter. You managed to get them all there and just interact with the NPCs. You had to get patched up, a few of you, restock your supplies. And while there, you learned of some like recent events in the Temple of the Moon Beneath. There are a squadron of hounds here, sort of helping guard the place, because the magical barriers around the Temple of the Moon Beneath have been not working properly lately. The Temple of the Moon Beneath has been trying to maintain the same kind of safety that Deves was. They've heard the same rumors about dead rising the area and definitely don't want that. So the hounds have been keeping them safe, but they've also been causing a racket. The hounds are very loud, they're always drunk, they're always causing problems, they're draining the resources of the haven. It's just not ideal. And the hounds are kind of bored there as well. So both parties want to go their separate ways, but they really can't. It wouldn't be safe. So a sister of the temple, Sister Ariel, hired you all to go deeper into the heart to a city called Stepwell in order to pick up some protective runes that she could lay out around the Temple of the Moon Beneath, so that the town could be protected without the need of these rowdy hounds. The hounds also hired you to murder some cultists nearby, since they were all busy drinking and you all looked pretty capable. You made your way towards Grip Station, a nearby haven that was on the way to Stepwell, and encountered those very cultists you were hired to murder, so murder you did. Unfortunately, they almost murdered you back. It was nearly a draw, but you narrowly emerged victorious. So, you decided, instead of pushing on deeper to an unknown haven where you might need to fight through even more monsters and things on the way, you'd just take a trek back to the Temple of the Moon Beneath and heal up. Which you did. All of you had to spend some resources to get there and all of that stuff, but now you're healed up for the most part. Feel free to look over your sheets and see if you have any lingering fallouts and so on. And also take a look at your active beats, because you chose those at the end of last session, I believe, essentially. And as a reminder, if you accomplish those beats during a session, you can immediately take one of those advancements from your character at the same level. I believe you all took minor beats, so you could all take minor advancements whenever you accomplish one of your beats. That's the game plan. Get back to Grip Station, continue on to Stepwell, now that you're all healed up. But with the past laid out, let's jump into the present. You all are in the Temple of the Moon Beneath currently, and I believe we left off with you prepared to go on your delve right away. So, do we want to just jump right into that, or do you guys want to do any last-minute preparations within the Temple of Moon Beneath?
I don't
I'm
really
just
remember
jumping
the
right
character
in.
sheets.
You don't really remember what?
The character sheets.
You don't remember how to use them?
Yeah.
You can press the C button to bring it up.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I have it. I'm just like
Oh,
trying to
like
read through and remember what.
remember how it works?
Oh yeah, drunk. I'm drunk. That's my
Yeah,
character.
you drink to shoot better is your character basically, and you're very lucky, and you can stare people to death. Um, but yeah, we can get into mechanics as they come up, I'm sure. But I guess we'll start with delve mechanics then, just because that's an easy one to tackle. To delve, you guys sort of announce what you're doing and how it helps you progress. You can even invent obstacles if you want to, and tell me how you knock them down. So you can basically just set up straw men and say, "Oh, we found a bridge that was broken, and I'm going to lay down a ladder or something." And if you do that and you roll an appropriate skill, then we make progress on the delve. We roll some dice for it. We can get into the dice rolling mechanics whenever someone announces what they're doing. But yeah, that's the very basic outline. So if we're going in, who's leading the way? Who's gonna make a delve roll of some kind, or whatever skill roll you think would help you make progress here?
Can you remind me what terrain we're going through?
Absolutely. Thank you for the reminder. You guys are taking a shortcut through the crypts within the Temple of the Moon Beneath, which will lead you down into an abandoned mine shaft, which is what you saw most recently, and you're not sure exactly what's beyond that, but you know you'll be able to get to Grip Station from there pretty shortly.
So
We
it's
have
a
already cleaned out the cultists. Should be an easy walk.
This is true.
Yaneth is down to lead. He's got a dog to help him lead through as well if he succeeds.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm pretty much only good in cursed and occult domains.
I'm only good in havens, and if I can shoot the delve, then that's good.
Yes, it's actually possible. I mean, if you encountered a monster or something, you could essentially delve by shooting it, right? That's a possibility. Yeah, so if you want to go ahead and give us a roll for that, then Yaneth, we can delve down into these crypts and see how far you get.
Delve and which domain?
This would be currently desolate and religion.
Okay. I think I have mastery with this. Just a delve. Yep. Nice. That's critical success.
Okay. I believe, just for simplicity, I can't remember the actual crit rules, but I think it's just double whatever stress you're going to do. We're going to go with that. It might be upgrade the die by 1, but for simplicity tonight, you can roll your delve equipment, since you mentioned the dog, and we'll just double it. Sweet. Okay.
Oh boy, lead us down the shaft. Where have we been before?
Well, I have played far too ominous music because you absolutely lead your way through this delve very quickly. But I'll keep the ominous music rolling for this description. So you guys make your way down through the crypts. Your dog has found its way through here previously. You guys have been down here, you've killed the cultists, so it leads you down the correct pathways immediately. It leads you by that abandoned mining post that had those cultists in it, and you eventually find your way to the outside of a transit line, part of the railway that extends under here. And you're looking for a station. It makes sense to hop on the rails and make your way there. And so your dog actually already at this point has found an access hatch, a maintenance hatch that leads into this place. So you're able to jump down onto the rails and make progress.
No trains here for now. Must get through before they arrive. But do I smell anything magical?
Yes,
part of the mark of hunger that Yaneth took at the end of last beat, got him the delve skill, which is helpful. B, I can smell sources of magical power. More potent and active and more pungent.
I think you absolutely smell what is essentially a magical third rail of this railway system. And so there's like a line in here that just smells like ozone that only you can smell, but it's extremely strong. Whatever magic powers these trains, it runs through here for sure. So you might want to be careful where you step, what you touch, and so on. You also smell, in one of the two directions, a smell of magic that reminds you of salt.
The mark of the queen, perhaps. I would like to go that direction.
So Giannis will just start heading off in that direction.
Does anyone else want to take a chance at rolling some dice here to make some progress on the stealth?
I have a Heartward Dowsing Rod, so that's Delve Skill D6.
So you'd roll your delve skill, and if the domains are applicable, and then if you succeed, we'd roll the d6 to see how much progress you make. Basically, by default, you'd roll a d4, so that just upgrades it to a d6.
And if I don't have the skill, I shouldn't roll, right?
You could try to see if a different skill might apply based on what you're trying to do. Doesn't have to be delve, but if you're trying to delve and get your delve equipment, you're probably going to need to roll delve, right? But yes, you can roll delve. You might get your domains. You could get somebody to help you for an extra die. There's a few other things you could do.
As long as you're following Giannis, he's probably going to help.
Fair enough.
So this is a desolate technology domain at this point.
Well, I don't have any of those. We're just gonna roll and see what happens.
Alright, so you get help from one person, Yana. So you might get at least an extra die there. Okay, success at a cost. So, you're going to take some stress from this. And on this delve, that amount of stress would be a d4. So, what kind of stress does it make sense for Lind to take here while searching for the heart? Is it echo stress? Do you channel some magic from the heart a little too deeply while you're seeking it? Maybe you find what you're looking for a little bit stronger than you hoped?
Yeah, I think that would probably, with the dowsing rod, she'd probably open herself up to the connection and get stronger voices or impulses than she bargained for.
That was a really good find.
That makes a lot of sense. So you'll take 3 echo stress. If you have protections, you can subtract that from that amount. And then roll your fallout afterwards.
Okay, and since I succeeded at a cost, I roll the d6.
Yes. Yep. We'll apply that after we see if you get fallout.
Okay.
I mean, we can roll the dice in either order, but as far as like the events happening, that's all right. No fallout. That's good. All right.
All right.
So, you all make your way down this railway, and eventually you see some light. It's like a pinkish light. It's not the light of day. You're deep underground. It's not an electric light or anything like that, or even torches. It's something strange. It's a soft pink glow from above. And as you approach this opening in the railway, you see that the rails go through a massive cavern. and the rails beneath you become like a bridge with rails on top. So it's a long fall on either side of the rails at this point, probably 100 feet or so. In the distance, maybe half a mile or so down this railway, you can see a large structure that's also suspended like 100 feet above the ground that the railways connect to, and you assume this is the station you're looking for. I think actually I can show you what it looks like. You may also notice a hell of a lot of pink crystals. These are what are providing the glow in this cavern, you can see. And they are almost singing. You can hear them kind of cracking up above and rubbing against each other. And while they rub against each other, they produce this humming sound, like a tuning fork or something. It's a crystal sound. Like if you've ever heard somebody like with their finger on the edge of a crystal glass, whatever, like that kind of sound. But it's all these different sizes of crystals, all humming together at different frequencies, that produces this disturbing song. It's not a melody, there's no sense to it. It's chaos and it's nothing good. It's a song of the heart. And you can see all around the tracks and the ground, and even in some of the buildings, these crystals occasionally fall and embed themselves, these very large shards, directly into whatever's beneath them. But you all make it safely, because Lind was careful. And perhaps the stress you got here was you listened to that heart song a little too deeply. You let it linger in your mind a little too much, and you attuned yourself to the heart more than you expected. You lost control of that witch blood you possess just a little bit. Not so much that you have exploded into your true form, but enough to notice the effects. Regardless, you guys walk the half a mile or so down this suspended railway towards the station. And you find outside it dozens of these bodies outside a closed gate. These bodies are covered in coral and all sorts of other, like, seaweed and stuff. And they're sopping wet. But the gate of the building is closed. What do you do?
Quick clarification. Is this before or after we get to Grip Station?
You believe this gateway is Grip Station.
Okay. Is it scalable?
It's a relatively smooth looking gate, but you might be able to climb around the outside on like the left or right. This would be extremely precarious though because of the 100-foot drop.
Was Grip Station a good place or a bad place?
It was a haven. It should be a safe place, but it is currently closed and there are bodies outside it.
Yaneth will check the bodies of the fellows. The drowned men.
Okay, I don't think I need a roll for that. You look over them, and you can see that all of them have bullet wounds in either the chest or head. They're just seeping water.
Gethin, looks like your fellows shot these ones. Riddled with bullets and leaking water.
Should we try to knock on the door?
Perhaps. As long as we're not belching up the same thing.
And just start pounding on the door.
Reinforcements from the Temple of the Moon Beneath.
So you knock on the door. You all suddenly hear some shuffling behind it, some rushing of climbing steps. It's muffled, it's on the other side of a wall, but you gather from the way the sound is happening, that the way the sound reaches you, that perhaps over the top of the wall is open, And then you see guns point over the top, down at you. And behind them are several men and women in this, like, armor made from pieces of trains. They all wear these religious-looking hoods, and they aim down at you, and one of them, who has far more, like, gold and filigree kind of covering parts of his hood and parts of his armor, far more medals on his shoulder, shouts down at you. Says, well, you're not dead like them, but be gone. We have nothing for you.
So what were our tasks? It was to kill the cult, and what were we doing in Grip Station?
You are
We're trying to
passing
pass
through.
through. Yeah, we're trying to get to Stepwell.
I would probably holler up. We seek passage through to Stepwell.
Well, you need our facilities not for that. Scale down the side of the rails. You will find stairs.
Oh, convenient.
How far down?
Oh, there are stairs at the bottom of the rails. You will find stone steps leading deeper.
So this is like before the drop, or are we supposed to join
You
at
must
top of
scale the
drop?
rails.
So we must climb down?
Yes.
Hmm.
If it is Stepwell you seek, which I do not recommend, but you need not our supplies. The dead walk
Perhaps.
around here. I recommend you turn back.
Drowned Queen's influence presses in above. Stepwell has the supplies. The temple at the moon beneath requires to hold her at bay. At bay.
That is no business of ours. If you need to move through, then move through, but you will not be coming through Grip Station.
How dangerous? Like, can I look down and see the stairs? Like,
I feel like the pink glow from above makes it a little difficult. It's not like it's a super bright light, but looking down there at the, you know, monochrome light against this just rubble beneath and all sorts of crystals scattered everywhere, it's hard to make out exactly where the staircase is from here.
is there a way to check, like, do vibe checks, see if I think he's telling the truth about the stairs, or just sending us into the crevice to die? Discern?
I feel like discern, sure, that could possibly work. The Haven domain would definitely apply here. I feel like Haven and technology would be the most applicable here.
Well, I don't have any of those, so I'm just gonna try.
Ooh.
Alright, full success.
So it seems like he's telling the truth. It's just he wants you out of here. He does not want to bother with you right now. It seems that they're sort of in a lockdown. Is kind of the vibe you get.
Alright, and did we have rope?
You may or may not have rope. That is in your Schrodinger's inventory. Be part of your delve rolls.
I also
you
have
want to
the
have
heavy
rope.
rucksack full of maybe stolen goods, if that helps seeing if we have rope.
I imagine people traversing the heart would probably have things like rope, but that's what Fallout's for. If you get a Fallout that says, hey, your supplies are fucked, then maybe you don't have rope after all, you know? Things like that.
Mm.
So, it all depends on the rolls you make, basically. We will establish the fiction based on the dice.
Enjoy your walls, trademen.
Jonathan will say as he trudges towards where the rails drop off.
You're gonna be out
The
there.
drowned queen's embrace comes for us all eventually.
Not if we can help it. If you're out there, kill some of them for us. And he disappears behind the wall. So how are you guys getting down this wall? You've been denied entry into your haven here, which would have been a good place to stock up on supplies and get healing if you needed it, but thankfully your trip here was pretty uneventful. This might be trickier if you're having to come back later up this way, but for now, it seems like the route ahead of you is clear, just dangerous. Who wants to take the lead here?
Well, I'm not going down there first.
I'm more than happy to try. I don't know how good I'd be.
I don't know how good I'd be either. Unless I could kill it.
What was the domain for that one?
Right now, you're in, like, technology, I'd say is the main domain. Once you finish scaling down here, it might change to something else, but for now, you're on rails, which are definitely technology.
Okay. Anyone willing to spot me while I go down?
Now that I can do.
Well, then we have a deal.
Alright. So how are you going down? You just climbing hand over fist, going from bit of plank to plank and just finding your way down that way, or?
Well, I would hope I'd have a rope that I could, excuse me, tie to the top of the rail as like a safety measure in case I fall. And it'll make it easier for other people. So,
Okay.
sort of belaying down.
Yeah, sounds
Half
good. So
belaying, half climbing.
you tie a rope and you start climbing. What skill does that sound like to you? It sounds kind of delvy to me, personally, just because
Yeah.
it's kind of a catch-all for traversal, but yeah.
Any way I can convince you that I'm doing it sneakily?
I don't think you're sneaking up on anything, so maybe not.
Yeah,
But,
fair.
if you want
I know
to,
it was a stretch, but I might as well try.
well, here's the deal I'll make with you. Here's the bargain. If you invent a threat that you're sneaking up on, you can absolutely sneak up on it. You've just established that there's a threat in the world.
Is there a scenario in which I go quietly to not wake the trains in case there are any nearby?
I mean, that's kind of fun. Sure, yeah, you try to sneak to avoid waking the trains.
I have no idea.
In what other game does that sentence make any sense? So we have to take it, right?
Yeah. So if I have the skill sneak, do I click mastery for that one?
Not mastery, but if you should be able to choose sneak in a drop down.
Yes.
That would be fine. Yeah. Mastery would be if you have a knack from it, or you have another ability that says you gain mastery for something. But yeah, mastery is kind of like advantage
Got it.
in other games. Yeah. Let's see what you got. Success. All right. You guys are getting lucky tonight. This is good. So go ahead and roll a d4 because you're sneaking, and we'll see how much progress you make down this way. Okay.
Not very much.
So you make it about halfway down this set of rails. We'll say 50 feet down, and you reach the end of your rope. You had to use up a little bit of your rope to tie it up to the top. Maybe you have a standard set of 60-foot rope or whatever. And so you've reached the end of the rope. You're no longer able to continue the way you have been, but everyone else gets safely down this rope as well, and you're very quiet. You've made sure not to rouse the fury of any nearby trains, but you still got halfway down the rails to go, and who knows how much deeper into the heart you'll have to go to reach Stepwell. Who's stepping up next?
I tried to discern a more favorable path. Tried to see where the loose railroad ties might be on the way down. The
Okay.
more sturdy steps.
Absolutely.
Success at a cost.
All right. So you'll be taking... Yes, go ahead.
So I think because Yaneth already knew about the magically active rail, so I'm thinking maybe he brushes up against that distractedly as he's going down.
Ooh, okay. I like that. So let's see how much you take. You're going to take 2 stress. I'll say if it's the magic rail, this could be either Echo or Blood. Whatever you want to choose here. I'll let you pick.
Yeah, I think we can go for Echo.
Alright, so you take 2 stress to Echo.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
I rolled a 1.
uh,
So I clear my stress.
yes. You clear your stress for Echo specifically.
Yeah, my entire 2 stress.
Yes. Yeah, that was a very unlucky roll for you. You know, I think we'll go with a fairly light one here, but it's funny, and it'll be interesting to see the rest of your reactions. You all watch as Yaneth is leading the way and finds a very sturdy place to step. Like shakes a few rails to make sure they're not gonna like fall apart, you know, things like that, and then steps on a piece of metal and just vanishes, gone.
Ah!
What do you two do, Lind and Gethin?
Can we hear him? Like, when he made the surprise sound, did we hear him?
Nope.
I imagine it was a cut off surprised. Ah!
Yeah, a perfectly cut scream.
Yaneth? Yaneth.
So, just to give some fictional direction here, the fallout that I'm applying is the glitch fallout. You disappear, only reappearing after every other player has acted at least once. So you guys just are without a companion for now, and you have no idea where he is, but you need to press on.
Well, either he's gone or he isn't.
I've never seen that one before.
I think you have, actually. I think this happened to him during combat once. I'm pretty sure he blinked out and then came back later at one point.
I think this one's very fun, so I would be shocked if I haven't already used it at least once, yeah.
Oh.
So maybe, yeah, you're like, he'll be back, it's fine.
I think we were all spread out during that combat, so we might not have noticed.
Totally fair.
Because
as well.
I think that was against the cultists.
Possibly. Either way, you just watched him step on the third rail, get electrocuted, and then Thanos snapped. I will say, though, Yaneth, you do get to roll a d4 for progress on... you did get a success, not a failure. So maybe you found the way down regardless, even though the last step was dangerous or something like that. Okay. So yeah, we'll say right at the bottom then. You get down there and yeah, just you grab onto the wrong thing, but the rest of you make it down. You just try not to touch that piece of metal that Yaneth did. And we'll say out of a bit of luck to represent those, extra points, You guys find that it's only a short distance away, maybe about 30 feet or so. You can see the very top of a spiral staircase going down, just a most of a circle in the ground. That's just a hole going directly down. You can see the tops of steps leading in.
I guess we start going down.
So who's taking the lead on a roll here?
Does it look like the heart is a little more present here?
Oh, absolutely. You can tell, I'll just say. You can feel it. Your dowsing rod is telling you, your blood is telling you, your like every hair on your body is standing on end. There's just this leads deeper into the heart. If you go down here, it's gonna get more fucked up. You can see lining the walls of this place, now that you've taken a closer look at it, are countless runes covering every inch of the brick walls that lead deeper into the earth.
So, occult domain?
Absolutely.
All right, awesome. I'm good at that. All right, I will kind of take a deep breath. You'll see some tension leave her body that you didn't even know was there. And she starts moving with a little bit more ease. And kind of trailing her fingers along the wall absentmindedly, like running her fingers over the runes and feeling.
All right. Success. What skill did you roll for that?
I rolled Delve, I think.
Okay, so you can apply your
should
dowsing
have.
rod. Yes. I was just curious if your dowsing rod would apply, but it does. Let's go. It seems funny to apply a dowsing rod to help you go downstairs faster, but in this case, it actually does make some sense. Because as you travel downwards, you keep on step after step after step after step. These stairs feel impossibly long. You feel like you've been walking for hours. You feel like time isn't making sense. You look back up. You see where you came in only a few hundred feet ago. You look down and you can't see the bottom of this place. There's some occult magic at play here. The heart is warping this place. Space and time are starting to make a little bit less sense. But your dowsing rod helps you find the way a little bit. You follow the scent of the heart, the essence. You search for blood. You think, as you pass, on a full success, I'll give you this little detail as well, that if you are able to decipher some of these runes on the walls, you might be able to make progress at a faster rate in the future, but it will certainly add time to your current journey.
I think I would probably comment about that. Like, well, if anyone can read these, it might be helpful for going forward. But
If only I existed right now.
If only.
but I
That
just
just
want to
means-
get closer.
That just means Gethin's got to take a turn so that we can get Yaneth back.
I think at this point, like, despite her exhaustion, Lind is almost skipping down the stairs. Like, slightly uncanny valley reverting to childlike happiness behaviors, but still with that otherworldly freakiness.
I like it. So Gethin, Linda's beginning to lead you down these steps, and you can tell that the magic that's being applied here is helping you progress, but, what are you going to do to help in this situation?
You said the smell of blood is calling, right?
Yes. Oh, and I can
Can I attempt to hunt for the blood? Is that too much of a stretch?
No, I actually kind of love that. You're searching for the heart's blood, just chasing that smell of violence, of corruption that is so core to what being a hound is.
And this is desolate, you said? No, occult?
This is an occult domain, yes.
Yeah, I don't have it, but we're gonna roll it anyway.
Yeah, see what you get.
Can I help by just like
Yeah.
basically waxing poetic about the heart and its compelling nature?
You absolutely can. The only downsides to helping is if there's consequences, they also apply to you, which it turns out they do.
I'm sorry.
So both of you are going to take a d6 of stress to something. 3. We'll say it's echo for each of you because, once again, it's happened that way several times now. But you guys have messed with these occult magics multiple times in a row here. So you're delving deeper into the heart. Maybe each of you step on a step at the same time, and some runes trigger, and you're just flooded with magic for a moment.
So what is once per situation?
This would be a situation. I'd say,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
I'm marking it to fortune then.
Can
Oh, okay.
I do an at any time thing between taking the stress and dealing with the fallout?
What is your suggestion, more specifically?
I have an activity called Crucible.
I think the fallout might happen before an activity. Yeah. This fallout is
An
essentially.
ability. Yeah.
What is the ability read?
You bring the energy of the heart inside yourself and transmute it into crimson power. At any time, roll a d6. If it's equal to or under your current echo stress, clear that much stress from echo and roll with mastery on your next action. If it's over your current echo stress, add that much stress to echo.
Okay. I think I'd prefer to establish you have to do this outside of a current roll that's happening. So you could do it at any time, but we're currently resolving something. So after this is resolved, once the fallout applies, because the fallout is, well, I guess I'll tell you this: if you want to apply it before you take this stress, I'd allow it. But taking the stress and then applying the fallout, no, actually, never mind. Not even that. The fallout applies. You would have had to decide this afterwards. We'll just see how it happens. Because yeah, that makes more sense, I think, based on the rules.
Yeah, I've just been watching Arya play Magic the Gathering.
Yes, interrupting the stack. I get it. In this case, we'll resolve each thing as it happens, and then we'll move on from there. Okay. Ooh, okay. So, Gethin, you transferred all this to luck, right?
Yeah, and I suffered a minor fortune fallout, so I also just hit my minor beat.
You did, yes. So you can look at your minor advancements and pick one. In the meantime, we'll say that you're about to step on the step that Lynn steps on, and Lynn gets shocked, but like you sneeze or something right at that moment, and you don't step, so you avoid it because you sneezed, and that's why it became a luck thing. But unfortunately, you are going to take some minor fortune fallout. I think you were going to take the unlucky fortune fallout, which means you cannot use fortune protection from now on. It's not a huge one, but that's what minor fallouts are for. You've relied on your luck too much, and now you can't resist it. You can still do the transfer thing, all that, but I don't even know if you have fortune protection, but if you were to gain it in the future, you would not be able to use it.
All right, cool. And then I can open sheet.
Yeah, so you want to click on your class with a little eye icon, and then, yeah. Also, just because it's funny in the moment here, Lind, you step on that step and you get shocked with this magic, and that's the moment Yoneth appears right next to you on that step. Yoneth doesn't take this magic damage, but this magic shocks him back into existence.
Oh. Oh. I see where... Did I ride the rail? Are you two okay? What happened?
I am more than okay.
Symbols on the wall.
Yes. And I am going to breathe in, like inhale, and red mist will come from the wall, and I'm going to inhale it and then exhale as my eyes glow red and I'm exhaling red mist.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, unlucky.
Unlucky.
What
So
does
you-
this do?
Wait, hold on. This is Crucible you're rolling, right?
Yes.
If it's over your current echo stress, add that much stress. I thought it set you to that much stress. Oh, that is so unlucky. Oh
No.
my god.
I
So,
mean, I have protection, so it's
Yes.
adding 5.
holy shit. All right, now you roll Fallout on that because you took stress. Oh, wow, you took a minor Fallout with 10 stress. That is, your luck came back for you a little bit there, because now you cleared that stress and it's fine. So I like the idea that you just decide to breathe in some of the heart in order to cleanse yourself, and you end up just swallowing more of it, and you choke a little bit on it.
And I end
So
up cleansing myself anyways, just
yes,
with an asterisk.
with an asterisk. I like this one. You breathe in and you choke on something, and you start retching and you vomit it up onto the floor. And it's not one thing, it's a handful of things. A handful of writhing things. Grubs, spiders, little organs that are still beating. Things with like a small squirrel with the wrong number of legs. Something that looks like it could only be a parasite. More and more just little creatures that are gross. Everyone in the party is going to take D4 stress to mind, including you, Lind, for witnessing this event.
So who rolls it?
Everybody can roll their own D4.
Even if I was glued to the symbols on the wall.
Yes, I think just by being near.
Dang, because I was hoping to fulfill an active beat for by ignoring her clear life distress, putting the acquisition of knowledge above preserving lives. But this is just something that's happening. So
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know if I want to set the precedent of just what if I avert my eyes, DM.
yeah,
Because but I do appreciate chasing the beat.
Alright, and now we roll Fallout again, right?
Correct. Yes, it'll spiral.
So this, I rolled a D3, but I have 1 protection to mind, so I only take 2.
Correct.
Okay. Oh my god.
Ooh. Minor
I
mind
feel
fallout.
you. I feel you.
This game spirals. I love it. Okay. Let's see. What is the most fun here? Oh, you know what? This is just perfect. Gethin, you're gonna get the take the edge off ongoing Fallout, which is you can't get your head right until you get a drink in you, or something stronger. Until you reach a haven with access to intoxicants and render yourself insensible, roll 2 dice when you mark stress to mind and pick the higher. Can be upgraded to addict.
Oh no.
I feel like this just makes the most sense for
Yeah.
who Gethin is. So if you get into mind sanity shit, it's gonna be even worse.
Yeah.
I did take Echoes of the 33rd, and I took the technology domain.
Ooh.
Because
Very
I've
cool.
only had one domain until now.
Yeah. So something about this situation ties you closer to the original bearer of your badge of the 33rd. Perhaps one of the previous owners of this badge was a train engineer or something, and you just gain some of that knowledge from the past. You like connect with a previous spirit of the owner of this badge, and a little bit
And I
of
mean, it
them
would
rubs
make
off on you.
it would make sense that I got the technology domain from that because we're in the technology domain, or we
Yeah.
were.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yaneth, is
Yes.
there any way you can read this? It might speed our progress.
Oh, I
And-
have ways.
And I have personal interest in understanding why the heart operates the way it does.
Beware your understandings. I once went too far. And now I seek the drowned queen's domain more directly. But as a result,
You just start like water starts pouring out of like every orifice on him as I'm going to use unorthodox methods to investigate these symbols and take a 6.
Ooh, okay. So you're gonna take a 6 on just in investigating them. I guess this would be like discern or something.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't really matter because you're taking a 6 either way.
Yeah, I get a 6, so I succeed but take stress.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, and he's just as he's choking out water, he's continuing to just it's it's not very audible, but he's telling you his entire journey seeking the Drowned Queen's powers as he's trying to like look at these symbols on the wall.
I like it. Okay. So yeah, you all smell the salt water, and it starts to just drip down the stairs. And I don't know if I described it perfectly earlier, but the spiral staircase, it doesn't have like a pillar in the middle. It's like a pit in the middle that you could just fall down. So it's kind of been disturbing you this whole time, just this bottomless pit next to you. And so the water starts rolling down the steps a little bit in front of you, making them slippery, and also rolls off the side down into the pit. So I think Yaneth, you're gonna take I'm gonna say this is stressed mind because you're trying to understand these runes on the wall.
Yep.
And this is a D6 of mind stress.
I have a total 4. Here's minor fallout. I wanted that stress.
Oof. Minor fallout we'll handle in a moment. Since you're interpreting the runes, I need to determine how hard they are to interpret based on the roll suggested in the book. Okay. Go. Okay, so go ahead and roll. Do you have any equipment that would help you here, or are you just rolling?
I do
It's a
have
D4.
some extra occult limbs. Nothing for discern though.
Yeah, is that a resource?
It is a resource. It's an occult resource.
Yes, that's a little different than equipment.
Yeah.
So equipment, if you don't have any, this will be
Oh,
a
yeah.
D4 of progress. So go ahead and roll that while I look for a mind fallout for you. Oh, 4, very good. So you start to understand some of the runes here. I feel like this is something you've already been doing, but let's give it a mechanical effect. You're going to get the weird mind fallout, which you do something unsettling that bothers normal people. Obsessive behavior, singing to yourself, fulfilling a strange compulsion at inappropriate times, etc. At the earliest opportunity, the GM can declare that your weirdness puts a useful NPC off you, and probably your allies too.
I don't
So
know
maybe-
what he could possibly be doing.
You're just yapping on about the drowned queen constantly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So Yanath appears to just be lost in these tales of the drowned queen while inspecting these runes. You can see he's scribbling down some notes about them and appears to be making some progress, but hasn't completely understood all of them yet. You still got quite a ways to go down here. Well, an unknown amount of ways to go down here because it's apparently a bottomless pit. What does somebody else want to do here to continue making progress, either on like the way down the steps or interpreting the runes?
What do we have of the runes so far?
Oh, I could tell you plenty. Just not enough.
I feel like Yanath has determined that the runes are, like he's identified all of the unique runes he can find and is starting to mess with them. So like he's got down all of the runes essentially. You just need to figure out what the patterns between them do, that kind of thing. Like if these
I
are
can tell
letters,
you that it's a language.
There you go. Like
These
if these
ones
are
are
letters,
vowels, and these ones are consonants. I think that's punctuation over there.
Can I just roll a discern check
Yeah.
to see if I can
you can just continue
add any
interpreting.
expertise?
Yeah,
You can
absolutely.
have some help too.
Let's go. Ooh, very good. So roll a d4 and we'll double it for how much progress you make. Okay, 4 progress. That's pretty good.
Side note, I'm looking to gain information on why I've been chosen by the heart as well.
That is very fair.
Like, see if there's anything about what the heart wants
Yeah.
incorporated into this.
So I think if you have any suggestions on that too, if you want to invent any backstory elements about your character, feel free. Just, think about it like your character is discovering this now. It doesn't necessarily have to come from me. We can work through that together. But yeah, I think most of the runes here, unless we have a better idea, are essentially instructions on how to get down this space that you're in. If that makes any sense. More than like sacred texts. But certainly there might be something in there that's a note you think is interesting. On a critical success, I think you should get something extra. I do like that. So, yeah, you determine that these runes are indeed, as I suggested. They tell you about how this space is compressed and stretched and twisted. It is a space that has more dimensions than you're used to. It's a space that your minds that exist in a 3D space can't comprehend easily, and it appears different to you. Your perspective doesn't make sense here. But the runes lead you through a path that is 3D, that will take you through the multidimensional space deeper into the heart. And perhaps that just uncovers something for you. You've felt before that, this blood curse you bear has done similar things to you. You've expanded yourself at a moment's notice. You've been able to shift spaces around you. You feel like the heart has picked you for your unique brand of the witch's blood curse. The way your magic can bend space and time in strange ways.
So whether it was the illness, the doctor's treatment, or something innate that I was born with, I am a little more than 3-dimensional.
Exactly. And that's why your true form expands you.
All right. And I am going to say I've got.
All right. So yes, that sounds like it satisfies the minor beat to me. Very good, very good. And you have uncovered essentially a map of where to step on these steps to make progress faster, essentially. So, you're not quite down the steps yet. You know how to get down them swifter. But how are you going to continue making progress here? Who wants to take the lead on following these instructions?
I think I can lead us further deeper.
Go for
Now that I know where I'm going.
it. Yes.
So delve and occult, yes.
Mm-hmm. Full success. Okay. You make it. Bottom of the stairs. Your hound leading the way. You're kind of helping lean it in the right directions, making sure it's stepping on all the right steps, but it also has an instinct. It can smell where the heart is deeper, and it leads you deeper into it. Eventually you see the bottom of the steps, and eventually your feet are on that bottom of the steps as well. And you look up the shaft where you came from, and even though previously looking down into the pit you could not see the bottom, the top of the pit appears only 30 feet away from down here.
Is this why it's called Stepwell?
Giannis just kind of says to his companions.
Excellent. Everybody take mind stress. No.
I mean,
If you don't step well enough, you'll never reach the bottom.
And like it or not, it's actually a double pun. Because at the bottom of the steps, you can see where these steps have led you. You've entered into a place that is called Stepwell because it is a stepwell. It is a well full of steps. It is an underground reservoir that is man-made, that has sort of rows of steps leading downwards in sort of like I picture it like a square shape of steps, like an inverted pyramid with water in it, if that makes sense. So it's almost like a shore, but instead of sloping sand going into the water, steps lead down into the water, and you can see the steps continue deeper into the water for a ways. Additionally, you can see in various places around this vast body of water, an underground lake you've uncovered, essentially. The steps rise back up in a few places, forming what appear to be almost like islands of stone brick. These islands are in a uniform pattern. They're not like random, like natural islands. It appears this place was, again, man-made and organized at one point. But what's odd about it now is that it's all covered in coral. Coral pokes up from the waters in different places all around you. It's bioluminescent, and there are bridges built between these islands out of pieces of what appears to be driftwood. You can recognize some pieces of what appear to be wrecked ships and things like that have been crudely smashed together and crudely nailed into each other to form these rickety bridges between the islands. And along these bridges are where that bioluminescent coral pokes up in the highest frequency, as if someone placed the coral there as a light source for travelers following the bridges. These bridges lead deeper into the lake, where you can see a tall island. Like the middle of the lake has the largest set of steps leading up like a pyramid up to the top. You can't quite see what's at the top from here, because it does plateau off and you can't see over the edge to what is on the plateau. But you have indeed reached Stepwell. Stepwell is an occult domain location.
Is it populated?
It does not appear to be. It looks like perhaps once in the past it was. You look down and you can see that the bioluminescent coral dips deep into the water below, all the way down to where it meets the steps at the bottom of the lake. And you can see at the bottom of the lake, near places where the coral is, buildings underwater, completely submerged at this point. People's bodies
What have we
rotting at the
here?
bottom, things like that. It appears like this place was a settlement that has now been completely flooded.
Dang it.
Perhaps their protections failed. Regardless, I want to know what's down there.
It seems our queen has claimed this place.
And such a bounty is mine to reap.
As he jumps into the water and starts heading towards the submerged settlement, looking for any and all things he can just take.
All right, you dive down into the water. I think I'm going to ask for some kind of roll here because this does seem somewhat risky. To see what you can find down there.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe discern. I could keep going for delve also. It's kind of delvey.
I think either could apply, whichever you feel like rolling. And this is an occult domain.
Okay. We can go for discern. He's looking.
He's looking.
Find me a drink.
I'm in the drink.
Success. So you find down at the bottom here, most of the remains of what's down here is long gone, rotted away. But some of the people here you can see, you recognize that whatever residents lived here last, they were a cult of some kind. It appeared to worship rats, is what you find. You find a lot of iconography of rats like carved into things and so on, but this doesn't interest you as much. And you try to like break off pieces of the coral because that seems like really interesting and magical, and none of that seems to budge. But you do find a small chunk of it that was already broken off, sunk down at the bottom. It was glowing faintly but bright enough that you were able to locate it in the darkness. You pick that up
probably
and
smelled
swim
it.
up to the surface. You probably smelled it underwater. Yeah, that makes sense because you drowned queen. You already got the water in you, so it's
Yeah. And I can smell magic.
exactly. So I think
We're here to look for something magic, correct?
What's up? Sorry.
We're here to get something from the settlement that's supposed to stave off the drowned queen's power.
You were looking for a set of protective runes. But you found this piece of bioluminescent coral. You can add strangely beautiful coral D8 occult to your inventory as a piece of resource.
Let's see. For finishing my story beat, I took the old blood. You inherited the disease from an ancient bloodline. You are strange and powerful and can see echoes of things that others can't. I get the discern skill, and when I observe someone for a few seconds, I can read their aura and discern their surface level emotions.
Ooh, okay. Interesting. I like that, and just as a flavor, you said you see echoes of things people can't. And I think in this place, this is a place that has a history, and you see that echo upon entering here, especially since you got this ability just now. Reaching this place, realizing that the heart lets you bend space and time in a few weird ways, you see into the past a little bit. You see the moment this place was flooded. You see the rat cultists running. You see a swarm of rats just crawling up all the steps here, getting out of the place. All of the people trying to climb after them, but slipping on the water that is flooding. The vassals of the drowned queen appearing from the water and dragging people into it and drowning them. And every body that gets pulled underwater, a new vassal rises from its place. The rats escape. The people do not.
Can I whether scanning the memory vision or looking under the water, can I try and find the runes we're looking for?
Yeah, I think you can give me a roll for that to try and locate the runes.
Yeah. Discern? Or.
Sure. Yeah, discern works for me.
Okay. Oh. That's no good.
So you are looking in this place. Perhaps you look a little too deeply into the past. You're not like fully in control of this weird memory vision yet, this echo vision. And so you start to lose track of yourself a little bit. Your mind wanders farther and farther into the past. You see people here. You see things in reverse. You see the flood descends. The people who died in the flood rise back from their rotten bodies and turn back into their original bodies. You see these people worshiping rats more and more. And then, as time goes backwards, you can see that they're worshiping them less and less. You see that another people lived here before the rat cultists arrived. The rat cultists came in, they swarmed the place, they killed everyone here, they sacrificed them to the rat swarms. You see this series of events, you see another previous people here, you see the people who built this place, you see the people who dug this place out. They were perhaps a group from the Vermissian Knights, trying to make a reservoir of water that they could use to fuel trains with, water that would go into tanks on trains. Not for fuel, I guess, but, it's an important resource to have to cool certain components or just to have water for people on board, perhaps water to use for steam, things like that. That's what this reservoir was for originally. You go even further back to when this was just a cavern. You go even further back to when it was pure rock and stone, not a gap in it, and you find your mind trapped in the rock. I'm going to roll stress. You're going to take 4 stress to echo. Minor echo fallout. Do you have any current minor echo fallouts already? I don't think so, right?
I don't think I have anything active.
Okay. So I won't upgrade anything. I'll give you a new one. I think you're going to gain a strange appetite. Your mind lingered with the rat people for a little too long, and now you cannot get the thought out of your head. You saw these people eating rats. You wonder what that tasted like. You saw it gave them power. This is something you must try. Next time you visit a haven and attempt to refresh blood or mind stress, you must seek out this weirdness and indulge in it. Otherwise, you will be unable to refresh that stress.
Alright, so now I want to eat rats.
Yes.
Got it.
Who else is looking around here for the runes?
Well,
Or
I'm looking
if you
for
just
a
wanna...
drink, not rooms.
Okay, do you just want to like walk towards let's spotlight on Gethin for a second here, because Yanath just got some coral.
Yeah.
Gethin, do you want to just wander around looking for, like you said, a drink?
Yeah.
You think your wandering would take you up to that pyramid in the middle?
If it's the only place with water, probably.
Well, there's water all around you, but there's no buildings. But you can see that the pyramid is in the middle. It looks important. It looks like where all these bridges are leading you to, and it looks like if anywhere is going to have somebody living there, it's probably at the end of all these bridges, right?
Yeah, and I have my I have a custodian ability, which if we were in a populated location, it would be really easy to find it. So I'm just looking for people or alcohol or anything just to calm my mind.
Absolutely.
And people don't survive in water typically, so
So you climb this pyramid in the middle. Step by step. It's a bit of a long way up, but you make your way up there, and you get over the top ledge of the place, and you can see at the very top of this place is a throne. And you have found a person here. Perhaps the only person in this place. With your talent for locating the population of a location, for finding somebody to have a drink with, you found the sole living thing here. The throne is made of stone. It has been cobbled together from bricks pulled from the steps around you, and coral. Lots of bioluminescent coral. On the throne sits a dark elf who is just in a wedding gown on the throne with a veil over her face. All of her is glowing. Her skin just radiates this purple light just out of her flesh, as if her very bones are just bioluminescent like the coral around her. Her wedding dress is soaked, dripping onto the floor around her, and in fact you can see water just trickling away from the throne and down the steps on the other sides of the pyramid.
Does she look alive or is she motionless?
It's weird, there's almost like a lag to it. Like, you notice her, and you stand up and you see her, and then a couple seconds later she looks up as if she's noticed you. And if you move a little to the left, it takes her like a second to adjust to look over at you. As if there's a time gap between you. A lag. And as you take a second to gauge if she can see you as well, if she is alive, that second passes, that little bit of lag. She says, "I've been waiting for you."
You knew we were gonna be here?
"I've been waiting for anyone. We prepared a welcome for you. A way to cross the waters. A way of light you could see my throne. Tell me, what do you see?" And she sort of holds out her hands to display herself and her dress and her throne to you as just like a... Tell me what you think.
I see stuff that I've seen before, and I don't know if I like it. The whole water aspect of it has not been good to us.
I can tell that you are not a fan of the water. You stand in the presence of the drowned queen. You will show me respect. You should be kneeling.
I would just look over to Yeneth. Yeneth! It's your person!
His head pokes up out of the water.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah,
Dear.
and something has awoken since you were underwater last, Yanath. You smell the presence of the drowned queen more strongly than you ever have.
His pupils fully dilate, and he just rushes towards that pyramid as fast as he can.
Wet footsteps up the slope, just slap, 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 slap.
He just
You make it to
throws
the top.
himself at the base of her throne.
My queen! I
Lind.
finally found you.
Does Lind come up as well after hearing the commotion?
Yes, Lind will follow.
Alright.
Kind of
Perhaps a
hesitantly
little-
stay in the back.
That makes sense. Less enthusiastically, but yes. Okay. Yanath throws himself at her feet.
I will definitely start backing away a little bit.
Okay. She says to Yanath,
Good, I see. One of you has some sense. My queen, I live to serve.
"And serve you shall. I have a request. I have been seeking someone. My presence in this place is limited. But do not misjudge my authority here. You've already seen the way I have stretched my reach. I am seeping into this place, spreading, soaking. But the flood is coming. I am ready to break in. But I need an anchor. My servant, I would bestow upon you a great honor. I seek a consort, someone to marry. Our union will bind flesh and spirit. We will become as one, linking your world and mine. And I will finally, like a torrent, erupt into this place. I am already prepared for the wedding.
And you find me just as prepared.
Excellent. She raises a hand, and those of you who are kind of backed away a little bit, just look around, and you can hear coming up out of the water hundreds of vassals of the drowned queen rising out of the lake, trudging up the steps towards the top. One of them bears a stone slab, but it's empty. It gets to the top and presents the slab to the queen. He says, I see you have already found the wedding ring.
He produces the shiny rock.
This
Indeed. What do the rest of you think of this situation? Obviously, Yoneth is super into it. But does anyone want to intervene here? Does anyone else think that, perhaps the drowned queen manifesting upon this realm may not be a good thing? Is there any way you want to interfere? Or bargain or say anything? Whatever.
If there's any way I could reach to the heart, and because I don't know, Joanna doesn't know how the heart and the drowned queen interact. Is she trying to take over the heart?
Yes, I'll combine this with your newly found ability as well. You can read like the surface level emotions of a being, right? Upon seeing them.
Yes.
I think you learn a little bit more here. You can see that the body of the drowned queen before you is little more than an illusion. It's flesh, but it's not a real person. Instead, linking from her feet down into the cracks and spreading out, you can see the aura of emotion around these tentacles that reach up the other side of the pyramid of steps and squeeze together to form the body at their tips. You can see these tentacles descend into the water. You can see a massive aura. You realize this lake you're in goes much deeper than you thought. And this queen before you, this dark elf sitting upon a throne, is more of an anglerfish's lure than anything. It is the bait to draw you in for the real queen's presence, but deep, deep below. And you sense danger. You sense the heart abhors this, but the drowned queen is forcing her way in.
If there's any symptom you don't have, it's not covered. That's the way.
I'm gonna cast Ascendancy.
Ooh, what does that do?
Makes this area gain the occult domain, but it sings the heart into this area.
That game's pretty well.
Okay. So you...
Basically, if she's trying to push out the heart, I'm singing the heart back.
All right. I like this.
Again,
I do have to roll compel an occult.
Go for it.
Ooh.
I love it. So, this music does not fit a critical success. Here we go. You tap into the heart's power. You realize the heart does not want this course of action to complete. It does not want this marriage, this union to be finalized. You channel the heart. You become a conduit for the heart, and you let its power into this place. Yonith holds out the stone, the coral, for the queen to pick up. But as the queen reaches for it, space distorts. The queen reaches halfway to it and makes no progress. It's like, as you both try to get closer to each other, the space grows ever more distant, much like the stairs you've descended recently. It makes no sense. You step towards the queen. The queen does not get closer. The queen rises from her chair. She cannot get closer. The queen looks at Lind, who is radiating this energy of the heart, distorting space with her newfound powers. The queen's tone changes. The tentacles unravel. The wedding dress that was so carefully placed around these tentacles gets torn to shreds, and a massive monster rises from the deep. You cannot see its entire form. All you see is countless orange eyes glowing in the dark.
The Queen of the Deep, I will have your respect. You would interrupt our union.
I think I'm just gonna change into my true form.
All right. Channeling the heart, you unfold. Describe what happens.
Yeah.
I think Lind hasn't said a word, so as she's just channeling the heart, the red mist congeals and you realize her skin is splitting and it's her blood that's mist. And she folds inside out and there's just flesh, but more than was in Lind. And it's just flesh and fat and muscle expanding.
Yeah. It's...
Gethin, what are you doing in this moment? You've been backing away for a bit, but two terrible powers are clashing in front of you. What's going through your head? What's your course of action?
At this point, I'm just gonna ready my gun, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm not drunk enough for this shit. Because I really have no care either way. I'm just getting paid to do this.
All right. So you're just abstaining, basically. You're backing away and just realizing you'd rather live another day than deal with this. Are you trying to escape to the staircase? Or are you waiting for your allies?
With the Drowned Queen showing up, is the water level rising?
No, it appears to be the same, although the massive form emerging from it has made like a large wave across it, and that wave is rippling back and forth across the lake. So there's water kind of rising up over the islands and then falling beneath them like a very rapid tide.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely go at least to the staircase.
Okay.
Because I can shoot from afar if I need.
So you rush to the door and watch these powers unfold. Yonith, your ceremony has been interrupted. What are you doing?
This was everything I wanted. You have to breathe, don't you?
And he'll start approaching Lind, hands out.
Lind, how do you respond?
I'm just gonna be there with my true form.
So you're just gonna let him approach? That's a totally fair response. I'm just clarifying.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, Yaneth, what do you do?
I've experienced her kiss, and now so shall you. He's casting Kiss of the Drowned Queen to conjure salt water in Lind's lungs.
All right. Do you need to roll for this?
I do. It's kill D6.
All right. Sounds like you're rolling kill and occult. Ooh. Both of you are going to take stress for this.
Mm-hmm.
It is a D6 to each of you, then. It sounds like blood for Lind. And we'll say you're trying to navigate this multi-dimensional space. Yaneth, this is going to be mind stress for you.
Okay.
Alright. I am going to use my In the Blood ability to reallocate that to Echo.
All right.
All right, and I take the same number myself to mind.
Okay.
And now we roll
Yes.
Fallout.
Yeah, 5 for each of you, and then Fallout. Lind takes minor Echo Fallout. I think, Lind, you're going to get the... Actually, you had the Strange Appetite before. I'm going to upgrade this to Dark Cravings. There we go. Dark Cravings.
Rats.
And what Dark Cravings does is it's just worse. It's as Strange Appetite, but the effect is permanent until this Fallout is removed, whereas previously, eating a single rat would have sated you. Now, you have to eat rats permanently until you find some way to change this.
Okay.
Perhaps you dip yourself back into the past once again to avoid this water and then blink back to the present. And that's the cost.
Alright, well,
Giannis probably stumbles a little bit, through where you were because he was kind of lunging.
alright. I think I am going to spit out the seawater, which is a little bloody now. And I will swing my sacred blade at Eonith.
Okay.
And since I'm in my true form, I get to roll kill with mastery.
Ah. Once again, D6 of stress for each of you, unless your blade is higher than D6.
Nope, it's a d6.
Alright, so D6 of blood for Yaneth, and D6 of... what makes sense here for Lind? Maybe more Echo? Just keep piling on the
Sure.
Echo?
Sure.
Ooh, major Fallout. Not good for...
Not good for
I
blood.
don't take any stress.
That's correct.
Because
sorry, I rolled that with 8 stress instead of... I thought I was taking 3. That's just 1.
Just one.
I'll
You
re-roll
rolled
that with
an
just
8?
1 then.
Yeah, just roll the one, yeah. Makes sense. See what you get.
That's not... Ah, that's regular roll. Stop.
Okay,
That's
you're
better.
safe. You take a scratch from it. You two are not making much progress against each other. You're fairly evenly matched here. The queen lingers over you, and seeing you strike out at her potential husband here. Down, it says,
Stop this now. I am not one to be trifled with. This is your final warning. We can find a non-violent solution for this, or you will be destroyed.
Let my marriage go through. This is the whole reason I'm here. The whole reason I'm in the heart.
The heart is with
What
us
do you
now.
need? Take your runes and go. Protect the other settlements.
Runes. We have runes. Are runes what you seek?
I seek the heart.
What about you, gunman? Will you take runes back to the temple? Or will you stand and fight?
What kind of runes are they?
Runes of the rat folk. The previous occupants. They had created them, but never finished installing them. They are on an island, back behind the pyramid. If you will leave peacefully, you may have them.
I will leave peacefully with the runes. That is
Very
all I
well.
see.
One large tentacle pokes from the dark sky above and points down at one of the nearby islands, and then rises back up into the cloud of eyes.
I think I'll drop my true form and say I will leave with the runes.
Then go. Take your runes. Come, dearest. Our ceremony is only beginning.
Yes, my love.
Do you also have any alcohol for the celebration?
All of the eyes blink together.
I
have
take that as a
something
no.
Stronger, if you wish.
A tentacle reaches down from the cloud once again, from the darkness above, and an orange liquid drips down it. And this tentacle is so large that a drop dripping down this tentacle is like a gallon of liquid. And it reaches the tip, and it's about to break surface tension, but it's just hanging onto the tip of the tentacle. And the queen says,
Open wide. Taste the ambrosia of the drowned queen.
Ganeth looks excited.
We will celebrate our ceremony later, dearest.
I'm good with just the runes. I was just looking for some alcohol.
Very well.
and somehow the liquid that was almost about to break tension at the end of this tentacle just reverses its trajectory back up the tentacle. Tentacle rises back up into the cloud.
Farewell, companions. Maybe we'll meet again.
Perhaps. Where is the way towards the heart?
You are in the wrong place. Deeper is where you need to go. I seek to ascend.
Oh shit. Took a shot. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is there a way deeper?
There's the way I came from. But you would need to drown.
If you let our friend go with the runes, my price will be safe passage through without drowning.
All right.
Very well. Stay for the ceremony. We will handle this afterwards.
Very well.
Gethin, are you just headed out then?
Oh yeah, I'm not drunk enough for this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be a drowned person.
Well, you start to make your way up the steps. We see a montage of you step over step over step and getting to the top of that long spiral staircase. And then starting to climb back up the scaffolding of the railway until you can reach that rope. We see a wide shot, like the camera angle from when you entered into this place from the staircase. The pyramid in the distance. We see the many eyes filling up what would be a sky down in this place. And the water level rises rapidly, filling up the room. We see Gethin looking down from the rails as water starts to rise from the staircase. He climbs faster. We see Gethin rushing through the railways, rushing to the Temple of the Moon beneath, and hurriedly handing over the runes to Sister Ariel, who sees your expression and gets to work right away. And I assume Gethin goes to get a drink.
Or 10.
Or 10, yes. We see back underwater, Yonith, the wedding ring, as it was called, is being forced into your ribs.
Ah. Ah.
And you are going to take the critical echo fallout beast. Critical fallout marks the end of your character. The beast fallout. Your body warps and changes beyond recognition. You are terrifying to behold. You disappear into the heart, surfacing only as a legend whispered in deep shadows. Why don't you describe to us what that looks like?
As the crystal is forced deeper into him, Giannis' protests become less and less until it's all the way in when bubbles start streaming out from the same hole that it was forced in. Bubbles, so many that his entire form is obscured until they begin to clear. And what you see is a smaller, many tentacled, mouthed creature. It just swirls in place a little bit, and just in the minds of whoever's nearby, they all hear yes,
And as you
My
speak,
queen,
the drowned
your
queen-
champion, your betrothed is here.
The drowned queen's voice echoes with your own. You are now one. You are the drowned king and queen. Lind, we see you sinking deeper and deeper into water. The light of the bioluminescent coral far above you now as you begin to
Presumably
drown.
with an air bubble.
Oh no, you are drowning. The last bits of your life are starting to fade. You are going to get the blood critical fallout chosen. As you descend into the water and your life leaves you, you feel the presence of the heart grow stronger, replacing that life you used to cling to. The chosen critical fallout transforms you into an angel, a manifestation of the heart as one of the heart's chosen vassals, emissaries, guardians. How about you describe what that does to Lind, what that looks like?
I think Lind suspected that that the Drowned Queen was not going to provide safe passage. But she also, this was the only way forward. So as she's drowning and feels the heart reach out to her, she knows peace and surrenders her human form, and to her surprise ends up with a humanoid-ish form that is proportionally off, like in the same way that the stairwell is warped, her whole being is slightly warped. She looks sort of like a woman, but you can almost see through her to the flesh beneath, to the heart beneath her, within her.
Like, almost like semi-translucent, but you can see like the network of veins and stuff, like the blood system, the circulation.
Yes, it's kind of like her true form got forced into the girl Lynn shape. So you can see it underneath, but there's still eyes and a face and like the physicality of it. And instead of rising, she continues to swim deeper as the chosen and continue her journey towards the heart.
Hell yeah. Gethin,
Yes.
you are drinking. You see through the windows of the pub you are in a magical barrier be erected. These blue walls of magical energy rise. Do you go out to take a look, or are you going to stay drinking?
I would go to the window while still drinking.
Excellent. Walk over with your bottle, keep sipping on
Because
it.
whether it works or it's the end of the world, I'm going out drinking.
You see the barriers reach the top of the cavern you're in, and then the water levels arrive. The water hits the barrier and rises, till the entire haven you're in is swallowed in water. But you're in a bubble of air. You're essentially in a reverse aquarium now. The world around you is water. The drowned queen's vassals walk to and fro, drifting around. Every day, stranger and stranger monstrous beings of water, these sharks with tentacles, these things that look like they're made of coral itself, just kind of trudging around, and so on. But you are in the air, and though you cannot leave this place, the hounds are long gone. You have the bar to yourself. How does Gethin respond to this situation?
Am I the only human left here, or are there like people in the temple?
You're the only hound left here. The others left when you went on your journey to find these runes. But the others there are the brothers and sisters of the Temple of the Moon beneath here, the religious order, and then you, the one person in a bar all to yourself. A bar hastily set up by the previous hounds before they fled.
I would just walk out to whoever is the one that tasked us with finding the runes, and still drink in hand, and just raise it in the air and say, well, at least it worked for us, for now.
Sister Ariel gives you a pained expression, but then smiles and nods weakly. Retreats within the building. I think we see Gethin take one more long drink, walk back into the bar, and we fade to black. And that is the end of our 3-part one-shot of Drowned, the quick start scenario for Heart, the City Beneath. That was pretty awesome.
That was cool.
That was a cool.
I'm sorry for betraying everybody, but my queen was there.
Hey,
Hell yeah.
either you or me would have done it eventually.
Yeah, the Heart Seeker or the Queen Seeker.
They absolutely planned all of the pre-gen characters to fit into different parts of this, right? Like,
Yeah.
somebody seeking the Drowned Queen, perfect. We've got somebody seeking just to go deeper into the heart, perfect. We've got the Hound who's going to encounter other hounds here and get work from them and that kind of stuff, great. There's plenty of relations there. The like Vermisian Knight could have like helped you guys deal with the grip station stuff because there are Vermisian Knights there, and like it's all linked. It's very cool.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to play more of this. It's fun.
Perhaps I won't be a creepy little guy for this next one.
You were pretty creepy though. It was great.
The voice is always fun to use.
Hell yeah.
Because honestly, when else am I going to be able to talk like that?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna workshop a character voice for the Heart campaign.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. What were you saying, Liam?
Yeah, there's something about the sing-song insane person that's fun to do for a character.
Absolutely.
This character just didn't seem all that fun for this stuff, because, like, he has no care for any of it. He was forced into this. He just wants to drink.
Yeah.
These two, like, gods fighting each other, he's just like, nope.
I mean, I think you
Yeah.
played him perfectly. Yeah, I just want to lean into that. Nope. Is yeah, pretty good.
That final standoff of heart creature versus drowned queen and consort was pretty
Yes.
out of his pay grade.
Oh, yes. And he was
it's
already
cool.
having...
Already having what?
He was already having, like, the mental fallout of just, like, I'm not drunk enough for this. And then he just sees these two, like, massive beings, and he's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool. It's honestly perfect to have like a foil like that. Like not somebody else to throw a third crazy impossible thing into the mix, but just to have like the normal person who's like, nope, fuck this shit, nope.
The
It's
practical,
kinda great.
I'm just here to get paid guy.
Yeah,
And-
exactly.
The fact that you're explaining her original body as, like, this incorporeal thing, he's like, gun, not work.
Yeah, I mean, just to peek behind the curtain a little bit there, the Drowned Queen is immune to all damage. Like, just as a god, you're not gonna fight this. So her threats were fucking real. Yeah. You're only saved by her not wanting to taint her wedding with violence, basically.
So what was the ambrosia, if you're able to say?
That was not in the book. I was just fucking off the cuffing that. I was just gonna count it as the strongest drink you ever had and go on some kind of trip with it. I don't know. I was gonna figure it out.
Here I was hoping it would turn him into another drowned queen worshiper.
That
yeah,
would
that's
be
what
great.
that's what my character was thinking, and again, he was like, "Nope."
He saw how Giannis was acting the whole time. It's like, hmm.
Yeah. That's probably the proper response. Yeah. But yeah, thanks y'all for
Yeah.
playing.
Thank you for running.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
a really good, like, creepy Luna Lovegood type voice.
Ooh.